Greetings, brothers and sisters. Greetings to all of you around the world, all of the brothers and sisters in the world, no matter you are brown, red, orange, blue, green, it does not matter your color. I greet you in the name of our Elohim and Yahashua, our Adonai. Now we are continuing in our playlist of the Waking Up. On the last video, we uncovered the truth. We unsealed the truth, brothers and sisters. So I recommend that you go and watch the previous videos, starting from video 1 till video 2. And right now we're on video 3 of this playlist. Thank you again, brothers and sisters, for being with us. When I record these videos, brothers and sisters, I record even though knowing that the channel has not many people. It does not even have 1,000 people. But as I said in the previous video, I don't care about the number of people. I just love doing what I am doing right now. I love it. Even if the subscribers just remain where they are today, just making these videos and being able to share this truth, it is what fulfills me, as I always live my life, always saying inside of me that I love helping the people in the world know the truth. I love making them know Elohim's way and the truth. As it is said, the truth sets us free. So we are continuing, brothers and sisters, in the playlist. On the last video, we talked about the kings coming into the land of the Hebrews and finding prophecies that they did not know, they did not even read about. So now I am continuing with where I left off. As I say, the kings did not know prophecies until they came into the land of the Hebrews. That is when they knew that the Elohim, the God of the Hebrews, prophesied about everything that they are literally doing right now. Now I'm continuing with the box. The main thing that you should understand is the box. Now I want to make everyone understand why does the box exist and when I believe it started. So right now we know that the kings did not know the prophecies until they came into the land of the Hebrews. So when they came into this land of the Hebrews, they found prophecies. That is why in history you will find that the Dead Sea Scrolls were found and other books, ancient books, were found. So I believe that the kings of the nations, when they gathered against the Hebrews and fought against the Hebrews, I believe that time, that day, that time, that period, it is when they found prophecies that speak against them and speak against everything they are doing and prophesy about what they are literally doing before even they do it. So let us continue with this study, brothers and sisters. I hope that you are with me on the mind and you can see what I'm talking about. Let's get to it. Now the kings of the nations of the world, when they found prophecies speaking about the things that they are literally doing, the kings also found this prophecy, brothers and sisters. Now this video, it won't be as long as the previous video, because of right now I'm just unsealing the truth, brothers and sisters. The kings found prophecies, and one prophecy they found and took literal. Unbelievers don't truly know this, but even wicked men believe. The kings of the world believed in the scriptures. That is why they started the box. Now let me give you the truth. Let me unseal the truth to all of you, brothers and sisters. When the kings of the world found prophecies, they also found this prophecy found in Daniel. And this prophecy in Daniel speaks about the kingdoms that rise after Babylon. Now the kings of the world, brothers and sisters, found the book of Daniel. As I say always, that what I'm saying, I feel led by the Spirit to talk about these things. Yes, in the history books, they do not say that they found the books of Daniel in the Hebrew land, but the Spirit reveals that which is secret, and the Spirit can tell you things that were done long before you existed. So understand what I'm saying, brothers and sisters. Now, the book that the kings, brothers and sisters, believed in and saw that this book is true is the book of Daniel. Now let us read where I believe they believed this truth about Yahuwah, our Elohim. Now, if you don't understand Hebrew, don't be confused when I speak about Yahuwah. I'm speaking about God. God's name is Yahuwah. But we will talk about that in the future, brothers and sisters. If you don't understand Hebrew, we will uncover the truth and unseal the truth. The book that they believed is found in Daniel chapter 2. And I will read, brothers and sisters. Now, picture yourself as a king that does not know the Old Testament. But when you found these scrolls, you read what is being said in Daniel chapter 2. In Daniel chapter 2 at verse 1, it speaks about King Nebuchadnezzar's dream. Now, who is King Nebuchadnezzar? King Nebuchadnezzar is the king of Babylon, Babylonia, the empire that existed long before the current empire. This empire existed long before, and if you do your research will prove to you that King Nebuchadnezzar did exist.
King, whose power was so immense that his fury spread throughout the Middle East, and whose military achievements changed the course of history to such an extent that they are still remembered today. Nebuchadnezzar II, who lived 600 years before Christ, was one of Babylon's most powerful rulers, and is best remembered for his conquest of the kingdom of Judah and the first destruction of the city of Jerusalem. Ancient writings claim that Nebuchadnezzar II was the eldest son of Nabopolassar, a former Babylonian general who fought to free Babylon from Assyrian rule. The Neo-Babylonian Empire was established as a result of a rebellion led by Nebuchadnezzar's father, and later by the war against the Neo-Assyrian Empire, which freed Babylon after almost a century of slavery. In 646 BC, Nabopolassar became king of the Neo-Babylonian Empire and vanquished the Assyrians outside Babylon. With time, the Assyrians were expelled from Lower Mesopotamia until the conflict moved to the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, the center of the Assyrian Empire. In 632 BC, the Chaldean Empire invaded and took Nineveh, the Assyrian capital. The Assyrian army fled to Haran, a place where Nabopolassar and his troops invaded and stormed. Ashur-uballit, king of the Assyrian Empire at the time, fled to Egypt, but his attempt to retake Haran ended in failure, leading to the collapse of the Assyrian Empire. From that point on, Nabopolassar headed the Chaldean dynasty of Babylon. In 624 BC, with his death, Nebuchadnezzar took the throne and immediately launched several changes that transformed Babylon into the most feared empire at the time. His first great duty as king was to follow on from his father's work, to expand and consolidate Babylon's power. He knew that, to maintain control, he had to display strength, and above all, be ruthless with his opponents. The first raids to grow the Babylonian Empire were to plunder. Nebuchadnezzar's first targets were Gaza, Ashkelon, and some Anatolian cities. As Babylon grew wealthier, Nebuchadnezzar also invested in building and upgrading the city's structure. He built walls, water supply pipelines, cobbled the streets, and also built what is known as the great symbol of the Neo-Babylonian Empire, the Hanging Gardens, a work that has been considered one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. But to sustain all
Years
these
ago, there was a powerful named Nebuchadnezzar. He ruled the city of Babylon. Babylon was in a place called Mesopotamia. Today that area is in the country of Iraq. Nebuchadnezzar ruled for over 40 years, from 605 to 562 BCE. He was one of the greatest kings in Babylon's history. Nebuchadnezzar became king after his father, King Nabopolassar, died. His father had helped free Babylon from the rule of another empire, the Assyrians. When Nebuchadnezzar became king, he wanted to make Babylon strong. He also wanted to make it beautiful. He built big walls, tall buildings, and temples. People say that Babylon became one of the most amazing cities in the world. One of the most famous things about Nebuchadnezzar is the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Some people say he built them for his wife. She missed the green hills of her home. So Nebuchadnezzar may have built gardens that rose up like a mountain. They were full of trees, flowers, and water. No one knows for sure if the gardens were real, but they became one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Many people wrote about them in stories. Nebuchadnezzar was also a strong warrior.
It was during that ancient time that what I am going to read happened. So I'm going to read from Daniel chapter 2 at verse 1. It says, King Nebuchadnezzar's dream. In the second year, after Nebuchadnezzar had become king, he had dreams. He woke up and was so worried that he could not sleep again. Then the king called all the magicians, the advisors, the fortune tellers, and the wise men to come to him so that they could tell him what he had dreamed. They all came and stood in front of the king. The king said to them, I have dreamed, and I am worried about what I have dreamed. I want to know what this dream means. The wise spoke in the Aramaic language and said to the king, We hope the king will live forever. Tell us what you have dreamed, and we will tell you what it means. But the king said to the wise men, No, I have decided that you must tell me what I have dreamed and what it means. If you cannot do it, then my men will kill you, cut you into pieces, and break down your homes. But if you tell me what I have dreamed and what it means, then I will give you many gifts, and you will be honored. So now, tell me what I have dreamed and what it means. Now, the European kings found such texts. That's what I want you to understand, that they read what we are reading right now. So let us continue. At verse 7 it says, Again the wise men said, Your Majesty, you must first tell us what you have dreamed. Then we will say what it means. Then the king told them, It is clear to me that you want to buy more time because you know what I have already decided. If you cannot tell me what I have dreamed, there is only one law for you. Further, you have agreed among yourselves to tell me lies in the hope that with time things may change. Therefore, tell me the dream, and I will know that you are able to interpret it. The wise men said to the king, There is no one in the world that can do what your majesty wants. There is no other great king who has asked something like this of any advisor or fortune teller or wise man. Your majesty wants us to do something that we cannot do. Only the gods can do it, and they do not live here with the people on earth. The king then became angry and told his soldiers to kill all the wise men in Babylon. A decree was issued that the wise men had to be killed, and so people were sent to fetch Daniel and his friends to kill them as well. Arioch was the leader of the soldiers who guarded the king, and the king told him to kill all the wise men of Babylon. Arioch was about to do it when Daniel spoke to him wisely. He asked Arioch, Why did the king become angry and decide to kill the wise men? Arioch told Daniel what had happened. Then Daniel went to the king and asked him for more time. He said he will tell the king what his dream meant. Daniel went home and told his friends, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, what had happened. He then prayed to Elohim, who rules from heaven, and asked him to be good to them and to tell him what the king had dreamt. Then the king's men will not kill Daniel and his friends with the other wise men of Babylon. That night, the Elohim of heaven showed Daniel what the king had dreamt, and Daniel praised Elohim. He said, Blessed be Elohim's name forever, for all wisdom and power are his. He changes years, months, and times and declares what must happen. He removes kings and chooses new kings to rule. Elohim gives wisdom and knowledge and makes people wise. He helps people to understand things that are difficult. He knows what is in the dark, because with him there is always light. I praise and thank you, Elohim of my forebears, because you have given me wisdom and you made me strong. You have revealed to me what we asked and have told us what the king wants to know. That was Daniel's prayer and praising Elohim. He praised Elohim for showing him what the king dreamt. Now I will not touch on this topic. Right now I'm focusing on the real topic, which is the box. So as I always said, I enjoy speaking about Elohim and giving knowledge out to all of you, so that when you are on your bed you can watch these videos. So on these videos I cannot touch on history. That is why I'm not explaining the religion of Babylon and whatsoever. I'm just going straight into the European kings when they found this text. Yes, they read Daniel. They read this scripture that we are reading right now. I will prove to you that they read this. Then Daniel went to Arioch, who had been charged to kill the wise men of Babylon, and Daniel said to him, "Do not kill the wise men of Babylon, but take me to the king. I will tell him what his dream meant." And at verse 25, it says, Arioch quickly took Daniel to the king and said to him, "I have found a man who can tell you what your dream means. He is one of the prisoners from Judah." The king said to Daniel, "Can you tell me what I have dreamt and what the dream means?" Daniel's other name was Belteshazzar. Daniel said to the king, "Your Majesty, the wise men, the magicians, the fortune tellers, and the advisors cannot tell you what you want to know. But there is an Elohim in heaven who reveals secrets. He has shown you, King Nebuchadnezzar, what will happen later." King Nebuchadnezzar was shown what will happen later, after him. "I will now tell you what you dreamt and what you saw when you were sleeping." Daniel said, "Your Majesty, you were sleeping on your bed, thinking about the future. And Elohim, who reveals secrets, showed you what will happen. I do not know more than others, but Elohim has shown me what others do not know, because he wants you to know your dream and what it means." As you can see, Daniel was so humble that he didn't exalt himself, but he said that he does not know, but Elohim showed him. He's very humble. "Your Majesty, you looked and saw a large statue standing before you. The statue was shining brightly, and when you saw it, you became afraid. Its head was made of pure gold, its chest and arms of silver, its stomach and hips of bronze, its legs of iron, and its feet of iron and clay. You were looking at it when someone cut a rock off the mountain. It was not a human being who cut the rock. The rock came rolling to the statue and hit the feet of iron and clay and smashed them into pieces. The stone broke everything into small pieces. The iron, clay, bronze, silver, and gold. It all became as fine as the chaff of wheat on the threshing floor in summertime. The wind came and it blew all the fine pieces of the statue away, and no one has seen it again. But the rock that broke the statue into pieces became larger and larger, and later it covered the whole earth." Now, when the European kings found this text, the European kings came after Babylon and after the nations. They found such words, they found such prophecy about the future. That is what I've been wanting to tell you since the last video, that they found the prophecies about the future. They found such words as Daniel is talking about right here. This prophecy, brothers and sisters, this prophecy is about the future. This prophecy is about future kingdoms. This prophecy that King Nebuchadnezzar dreamed and Daniel explained by the power of Elohim is about the future of kingdoms that will rise on earth. Hear Daniel what he's talking about. Your Majesty, says Daniel in verse 36. Your Majesty, this is what you dreamed, and we will now tell you what your dream means. Your Majesty, you are the head of gold. You are a king over other kings. The Elohim who rules from heaven has made you king, and you have become strong and important. He told you to rule over the people, animals, and birds of earth. After you, other kings will come. They will not be as important as you are. They will be like silver. Then there will be other kings who will rule over the whole world. And they will be like the bronze. The kings who will come after them will be as hard as iron, because iron breaks everything into pieces and makes it like dust. You saw feet and toes of iron and clay. This means that those kings who will rule over people who do not want to work together. Sometimes they will be strong and sometimes they will be weak. You saw that the iron and clay were together. That means the people of one nation will marry people from another, but they will not become one nation, because you cannot mix iron with clay. During the time the kings rule, the kingdom of Elohim will come, and Elohim will rule forever. No one else will ever rule after him. He will defeat all the other kings, and they will never rule again, and the kingdom of Elohim will go on forever. You saw a piece of rock breaking off from the large rock, and it broke the iron into small pieces and made it like dust. You saw that the rock also broke the bronze, the clay, the silver, and the gold, and it was not a man who broke it off. Your Majesty, the great Elohim has shown you what will happen later. This is what you dreamed, and this is what your dream means, and you can trust what I have told you. This is a prophecy about the kingdoms on earth. As you can see, the first kingdom was Babylon. The second was Medo and Persia. The third was Greece. And the fourth, some want to say the fourth was Rome. But I cannot believe that the fourth is Rome, because iron, it says that iron breaks everything into pieces, brothers and sisters. As you can see in Daniel chapter 2 at verse 40. The kings who will come after them will be as hard as iron, because iron breaks everything into pieces and makes it like dust. I cannot believe that it is Rome, because when you see history, it will prove that Rome did not conquer every nation, but there is one nation that conquered every nation and broke everything into pieces and made them like dust. That nation cannot be Rome, brothers and sisters. That nation cannot be Rome. I believe that that nation is Europe. I believe that it is the Western Europe. And when I say this, it is because of we see that it's still at the feet of the statue. There's still iron, and that iron is the one that broke many nations. We find the iron in the legs, and we find the iron in the feet. That means that this nation is not yet broken off. It means that it is still the one that we saw in the legs, and it is still the one that we see in the feet. Now, which nations are the clay, you may ask? The nations that are the clay, brothers and sisters, as we saw, brothers and sisters, it says that they try to mingle, the iron and clay try to mingle, but they cannot become one nation. It means that the nations, Europe and the other nations on earth, try to mingle, but they cannot mingle. Europe tries to mingle with everyone, but they cannot mingle and become one nation. So as I say, brothers and sisters, Europe is the iron we see on the legs. Europe is the iron we see on the feet. Clay is the other nations of the world. Now, brothers and sisters, I wanted you to understand that the iron is Europe, and we find it before the clay. It was in the legs, not Rome is the legs. Europe is the legs. Europe is the one that shattered the nations of the world. Not just the Hebrews, but it shattered many nations. Many nations in Australia, Europe shattered them. Many nations in the Caribbean, everywhere, Europe was the hammer that shattered many nations. And we still find Europe, the iron, in the lower part, the feet, they still Europe. And clay. So the clay, as I said, is the other nations of the world. They try to mingle, but they cannot mingle. They cannot become one nation. So as we go further with this ministry, brothers and sisters, you will see many things as the truth will be unsealed by Elohim's will. Yes, I am saying it like Daniel. By Elohim's will, the truth will be unsealed, because it is not I who brings the truth, but praise be Elohim who reveals the truth. Now the kings of Europe, when they found this text of Daniel, they knew that what they are reading, there is evidence of it. When they read that the head was Nebuchadnezzar's kingdom, Babylon, they compared it with history and saw that this is true. Then they checked the Babylon history and saw such a king lived before. They saw that the statue's arm and chest spoke about Medo and Persia. They checked history and found that the history of Medo and Persia confirmed that that nation once beat Babylon. They confirmed it. They saw that the body is Greece, and history proves that Greece once reigned. So the kings were shocked and realized that they are the legs, and that they are the legs, and they are the ones that are going to be in the feet also, mixed with clay. The kings of Europe, brothers and sisters, and when I say Europe, I mean it as a whole. The kings of Britain, the kings of Russia, the kings of Germany, the kings of Europe, when they saw this text of Daniel, this prophecy, they knew that this is true, and that the Elohim of the Hebrews has prophesied about their coming and their nation as a last empire. All the kings of Europe believe this. All the kings of Europe know this. That is why I believe in this saying that the kings plotted against the Most High. They plotted to change the course of history. You see what the Elohim of the Hebrews did? He showed them that I have power to rise kings and make kings fall. I have the power to make empires rise, and I shatter every empire that I dislike. They saw the kings of Western Europe. They saw the kings of Europe. They saw that the Elohim of the Hebrews has prophesied everything. He prophesied the coming of Medo and Persia before even Babylon fell. He prophesied about Greece before even Greece became a mighty nation. He prophesied about them before they became a mighty nation that shatters many nations. They saw that the Elohim of the Hebrews prophesied about every empire. And that is why, brothers and sisters, the kings of the world, the kings of the Europeans, the kings of British, the kings of Germany, the kings of Russia, the kings of China, the kings of whatever nation that aligns with Europe, the kings plotted against this history, this prophecy. Listen to this. Psalm chapter 2 at verse 1 will tell you that even Elohim prophesied that they will plot against him. This is why we say Elohim is all-knowing, because before Europe became a mighty empire, he prophesied about they will become a mighty empire, but it was hidden from the people of that time. He prophesied that Europe will shatter many nations, and he prophesied that the kings will plot against him. Psalm chapter 2 at verse 1 says, "Why do the nations want to rebel against Elohim? Why do they make a noise? It will not help them. The kings of the world and everyone who rules come together and make plans against Yahuwah and his anointed. They say to each other, 'Let us break the chains that hold us and throw off the ropes that tie us.'" This is what the kings do, brothers and sisters, behind your back. That is why I tell you that these people are outside the box, because they know the truth but hold it in unrighteousness. They plot against Elohim and his anointed. They plot and say, "Let us break the chains that hold us." And when they say this, brothers and sisters, they say that they want to break out of this prophecy. So for me, brothers and sisters, I believe that the kings saw that Daniel's prophecy is true, and so they plotted against Elohim. Unlike you, unbeliever, the kings believe, because evidence is there that Elohim is alive and predicted all things before they started. The kings know this. So yes, the kings plotted against this truth, that Elohim has predicted the whole events of time and has fulfilled them and is fulfilling them. They knew that these people they were taking into slavery were going to again be raised by that Elohim. So let me tell you the plan of the kings. The box. This is the plan of the kings of the world. The box is the plan, brothers and sisters. This is the reason why the box exists. The box exists to prevent you to know this truth by distractions and lack of truth and confusion. The kings of the world know that Elohim is true and his prophecies are true. They know this. Yes, they know this. So what was their plan with the box? Is to distract you from the true reality. What are they up to? I'll tell you what the kings of the world are up to. They plan to change this prophecy. I am serious, brothers and sisters. The kings of the world, the kings of Britain, the kings of Germany, the kings of Belgium, the kings of the world and their father Satan believe they can change this destiny. That's why in Avengers they show you this. When in Endgame, the movie Endgame, you saw that those we call heroes rewrite Thanos' history that he planned. In that movie, Thanos was like Elohim, and he won the first time, but this time they are saying they are going to change it.
5 years ago, we lost. All of us. We lost friends. We lost family. We lost a part of ourselves. Today we have a chance to take it all back. You know your teams, you know your missions. Get the stones, get them back. 1 round trip each, no mistakes, no do-overs. Most of us are going somewhere we know. That doesn't mean you should know what to expect. Be careful. Look out for each other. This is the fight of our lives. And we're gonna win. Whatever it takes.
There is a battle that is happening outside the box. There is a battle that is happening outside the box. The kings of the world plan to change prophecy. As Psalm 2 tells us, they plan against Elohim and his anointed. Now the box is just distracting us from the truth. Because of they created a false reality that there are no more kings. They lied about history. They did not tell us the truth. They lied about who are the true Hebrews. They lied about, there are many lies, brothers and sisters, in the world. They even don't tell us that Babylon was predicted by Elohim, Medo and Persia was predicted by Elohim, Greece was predicted by Elohim, and they were predicted by Elohim. Now the box is just to distract us from the truth. That is why it exists. The box, since we are inside the box, brothers and sisters, we cannot know what is happening outside the box. That is why the box exists. Well, that's the truth, brothers and sisters. The Holy Spirit revealed to me, brothers and sisters. And I want you to think about it. Think about it. Now, when did the box start to exist? They planned it once they saw Daniel's prophecy, according to what I feel the Spirit is telling me. I believe that they planned the box long before us. During the time that they saw prophecies, they started to plan against the Most High. Because who will want their kingdom to perish? There is no king in the world that wants their kingdom to perish. I mean, even in the Bible, you will find that no king wanted to die, and no royal family, no royal king, sons, princes. Every prince wants to be king. Am I wrong? Every prince wants to be king. So the kings and their royal families want to hold their kingdom. That is why they plot against the truth. Now Elohim was merciful to these kings because he revealed to them that he is alive, but they hold the truth in unrighteousness. Now rewatch the video every day and start thinking about it. If you don't understand, go back, watch it again, and understand what I am conveying to you. Instead of being on the defense, understand what I am saying. There is a battle outside the box. The box is there to keep you in captivity from the truth. The kings outside the box know the truth, that Elohim is alive. Because the kings don't want you to know this is the last nations to rule. They don't want you to know that the statue has already fulfilled, and now we are at the feet. And remember that the feet is going to be crushed by the rock that falls from a high mountain. You know what is funny, brothers and sisters, is that the kings are so in delusion that they believe they can change history. I mean, Nebuchadnezzar failed. Do you believe that just because of you have atomic bombs that you can fight Elohim? You are in delusion. You cannot see the delusion that Elohim has held you in, kings. They cannot change history. And you also cannot change history. You just choose which side of history you are going to be in. This is why the box exists. You are inside a box of the wicked. The box aim is in two ways: to make you not know the truth, that prophecy is true and fulfilling. The other reason is because the other is to make you enter rebellion against the Most High without even knowing. Now the kings know that they are in rebellion. There is no hiding it. They know. That is why they plan against the Most High. As the scripture in Psalm says, they plan against the Most High. They do not plan against the people or against animals. Deliberately, they say when they are in the meetings, we want to abolish his law. We want to abolish his prophecy. We want to abolish his way. They are fighting against Elohim and the Messiah. And this is why the box exists. They put doctrines inside the box so that we can be in rebellion. Doctrines like LGBTQ is right, doctrines like that. They just want us to be in the rebellion that they are in. The people inside believe in the doctrine. Therefore, the plan of the wicked to make you rebel against Elohim like them is working because you are inside the box and you believe everything the evil kings put inside the box. The kings of the nations are in deep rebellion and they want us to be in deep rebellion against our Creator. And understand that you brothers and sisters that have believed them with their doctrines that LGBTQ is right, whatever, you are entering rebellion that the kings of the world want you to enter. This is serious, brothers and sisters. The kings of the world desire to change fate. They desire to change the inevitable. Since slavery, their forefathers learned that Elohim is true and they are the last kingdom. Generation after generation, their children also took on their forefathers' rebellion, and now they want everyone to enter rebellion. This is true, brothers and sisters. The wicked desire to change prophecy. That's why you find them in movies, cartoons saying multiverse. That's the multiverse. And once you look at the multiverse, you see that in the multiverse dimension is a twisted reality. So they desire to be in the multiverse, but there's only one universe. There's only one creation, kings. There's no multiverse. No matter how you can create machines, whatever, you cannot escape from prophecy. You are literally making me laugh and amazed that you think that you can change history. These people will never change history. No matter how much they desire to change history, they will never get what they want. Because Elohim's prophecy is inevitable. So as I say, brothers and sisters, the kings found such prophecies and they believe such prophecies because they know that this is very true. And they think they are clever, that no one sees them, what they are planning. But Elohim knows all secrets. And Elohim knows what happens in the dark. Elohim predicted that the evildoers will plan against him. Listen to Psalm 64, brothers and sisters. O Elohim, please listen to me. I am asking you for help. I am afraid of my enemies, and so please save my life. The wicked are making plans against me. Please protect me from them, from the insurrection of evildoers. They say things that hurt me like sharp swords, and their words wound me like arrows. They hide in places where no one can see them, and shoot honest people suddenly and without fear. They encourage each other to do things that are wrong. They talk of setting traps and think no one can see them. They plan to commit crimes and say, we have a good plan. We are cunning and no one knows what we are going to do. But Elohim will shoot at them with his arrows and wound them suddenly. The things they say will destroy themselves, and all those who see them will laugh and shake their heads. Then everyone will fear Elohim and tell about the wonderful things that he has done. They will understand what they mean. The people who live in the right way will rejoice and praise Yahuwah. They will trust in him and ask him to protect them. All those who are honest will praise him. Psalm 64. So I thank you, brothers and sisters, for being with us on this journey and learning. And I pray that Elohim awakens the brothers and sisters in the world. I deeply hope this. I want to see people wake up from the lies. I want to see everyone where I live, in where you live. I want to see everyone wake up from the lies. And when I do, I will sing and be glad indeed. I will praise Elohim with joy, singing, and tambourines. And in the next video, by Elohim's will, I will help you to get out of the box. Whoever is listening, know this. Elohim loves you. And Elohim has prepared a place for you. The nation's kingdom is ending. May Elohim be with all of you. In the name of our Adonai, Yahusha. Amen.